Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. Today's video, we're going to be ranking all of the Doors entities on this tier list that I have here. Now, Doors hasn't been updated in I don't think over a year, so this is, I'm pretty sure, pretty much up to date. Now, some of these I haven't encountered, but I have a general idea of how to, I have a general idea of them. We're also ranking not just off of gameplay. Gameplay is important, but not the main thing we're ranking off of. We're also ranking off of design, so how they actually look, and possibly lore relevance, except, as you know, Doors isn't exactly a lore game. Anyways, let's get into it. So, first we have A120. Now, A120 isn't bad. Design-wise, a little bit basic. Just a smiley face that kind of just does Rush's mechanic, and a combination of Rush's and Ambush's mechanic. A little bit basic. So I'm willing to put in D tier because I know this is probably a stronger take. Inherently, it's a basic design. Mechanic-wise, it's pretty much the exact same as others of its mechanic. Moving on, we have A60. Now, A60 is just a little bit more creative than A120, because A60 has a uniquer smile design, and also, while it does do Rush's mechanic, it has the design points to go just above A120, so it would be in C tier. Then we have A90. A90 works very similarly to Halt, and I'd say Halt is... We'll get into Halt later, but interesting mechanic of the two other entities having you keep moving or hiding, and this one encouraging you to stay still. Design-wise, it doesn't look that interesting. Kind of looks like a troll face, but otherwise, I'd say it's around D. Design-wise, meh. Mechanic-wise, interesting. It's just we already have something to do that with. Now, Ambush. Ambush is doing a more interesting version of Rush's mechanic. Great idea. Allowing it for rebounding and making sure you get in and out of the closets as need be. Great idea. Design-wise, I'll give it a leg up above all of the A room number monsters, and I'll give it a B. Design-wise, cool. Gameplay-wise, also pretty good. Now, have I seen much about the glitch versions of any of them? No, but I will say, I really don't like the red on Glitch Ambush instead of the green. The green is so much more visually distinct. This just looks like every other red entity in this game, proving wrong. And that's why I'm putting it in C. Blitz, while I don't know anything about its actual gameplay, I'll put it in C because I know it's meant to be like Rush, and it does certainly have a spin to it rather than Rush. The green looks nice on it. I just don't know what it does gameplay-wise. So that's why it's here. Bob, do I need to explain myself? He just doesn't do anything. He just aura farms in the corner. So that's why he's up here. Then we have Bramble. Bramble being the Worldless's equivalent of Figure. Very interesting concept. It also looks pretty good. So I'm willing to put him up in A tier. I haven't personally gone against him yet, but from what I've seen, very interesting. A little bit different from Figure, but still mainly inspired by him. Then we have the Cause. I actually still have no idea what they do. Design-wise alone, they're birds, which is kind of cool. Since, if you think that, we all know what half of the things in Doors actually are. What is Ambush? We know it's something, we just don't know what. So, having a bird that's an actual bird is refreshing. So, C tier is deserved. Now, Curious Light. I'll give it a B tier. Curious Light is just a little bit different from its sister, I would assume. And I'd say its color yellow works better for guiding. And also, it's more interesting because we see it almost just as much as Guiding Light. So, B tier seems fitting for it. I don't know anything about Draco Bloxer. So, this is just a design critique. I'm gonna give it a D. I know it's meant to look bad, but for example, the Figure reskins, they look good. This looks like it was made literally by blocks, which I get is part of the point, but it still doesn't look good. So I'm gonna put it in D. Dread. Now Dread, not many people are ever going to encounter Dread, but when they do, probably not going to be very fun, because you have to go out of your way to encounter him. So gameplay, that puts him a little bit above. I'm gonna put him in a B tier because I do like the design a lot. Looking like kind of like a fungus or a bacteria is very cool to look at. Now we have Dupe. Dupe is not really a design. It's a door with a thing inside of it with hands and a smile. Gameplay wise, very, very irritating. So I'm willing to put it in D tier. It's not bad, it's just like, it doesn't look cool, and it doesn't do anything too interesting. El Goblino, he's going with Bob because he's actually pretty useful when you talk with him. He gives you valuable advice. Well, not really valuable, but at least he's cool. Whenever I think of doors, it's most likely El Goblino. Then we have Eyes. Now, in the hotel, Eyes doesn't do much. You just don't look at them. You're fine. In the mines, they at least teleport around, so their gameplay is pretty bad. Design-wise, a little bit on the nose. So I'm going to put it in C, because it's a little bit on the nose. Everything about it is on the nose. The same as Eyes, don't look at it. What else would it have been? Eyesock. Back to the World Lotus copying what's in the hotel. Eyesock being Seek actually makes a lot of sense, and its design proves it, because it looks like one of the birch trees around in the outdoors that tells you when this chase is going to happen, while also still looking almost identical to Seek. And so for that, I'm putting it with Bramble, both of the World Lotus's arguably best creations. Then we have the main man of most of the rooms, Figure. Now, how do I rank this? He's cool sometimes. Actually, not even sometimes. I love the fact that he's completely blind, and some people don't understand how he works. So let me give a quick explanation. He's blind, and he has pathfinding nodes. There is, if you've ever heard something about he always tries to stay 30 feet within 30 feet of you, that's just completely wrong. He goes on a path that his AI generates. Design-wise, he's probably the second thing most people think of when they think of doors. Obviously, Seek is the first. So for that, just because he's that iconic, he needs to go in S tier. Blind things in games are good, usually. Now, we have the Giggle. Now, would some people say it's cool? Would most people say it's cool? No. Do I say it's cool? Yes. Why? It is lore relevant, and I'm putting that in quotes, because there isn't much lore to doors anyways, but having the Giggle become the Grumble and some of them getting turned into Screeches just makes it so much cooler. Although I don't like how they're just face huggers, so I have to put them in a B. Glitch. Now, some people think Glitch is just a humanoid looking thing. I disagree with this. I think Glitch is meant to look like Seek. I think that's what like half these entities want to look like. The World Lotus wanted Eyesock to look like Seek. Glitch wants to look like Seek because all of its other forms are glitched versions of other things. So, for that, design-wise and gameplay-wise, putting it in A. Not many people know about it. It's pretty niche to find a glitch fragment naturally. But he looks cool. He's kind of underdeveloped still. Although I am hoping in future updates he gets more development to his character. Gloombats, they're a minor inconvenience. Design-wise, they are I would say they're actually pretty bad compared to some of the other entities. Design-wise, they're just like any other thing in mascot horror, where it's the same body, just a different color. Looking at you, Ban and Poppy Playtime. And also gameplay, they're pretty bad. Unless, of course, you're talking about when they distract Figure, in which case they're great. But here, not so good. Grampy. Grampy is easy in S tier. There are not many things in this game that want to help you. Grampy being one of those things is awesome. He also gives you the Lotus Flower, which is very useful in the game. And also, him being the father of the groundskeeper and the grandpa of Sally, allegedly, is arguably really cool. So, he deserves to be up here. Greed, I haven't seen much of Greed. But from what I am able to tell, just on design alone, he looks really bad. He's just teeth. Instead of eyes, it's just teeth. Now, Grumble. Grumbles are lore relevant, just like Giggles, but I'd say they're arguably more so. Because we see a few different things happen with them. We'll get into it later. Because Giggles are like the starting point of their evolution, and they can branch off into Grumbles. So they're easily pretty cool up here. Guiding Light. I'm gonna give it an A tier. Yeah, now you may be asking why it's an A tier. One, it's an A tier because it's probably the most helpful entity. And also it's blue. Blue is my favorite color. So there is a little bit of bias here. But sometimes when I play, especially during the Seek Chase, Guiding Light doesn't do anything. It does absolutely nothing. It is awful. So that's why it's here. It's not the worst light in the game. We haven't even met Red Light, so we don't know. But Guiding Light is better than Curious, but sometimes it definitely fails you. So that's why it's here. Halt. Halt is annoying. Cool design though. A blue looking ghost thing that tells you to turn around. Mechanic wise, annoying. Visual wise, looks cool when you actually see him. So that's why I'm giving him C. Haste. This is awesome. Arguably, I'm actually going to move him up from a B to an A. He looks the coolest out of the ones that just chase you. Also, his mechanic being the timer mechanic is awesome. Having, like, it's difficult, but I feel like it's rewarding. As this is the one entity that I think looks scary, like actually scary. So I'm willing to put him in A tier. Then we have what I'm assuming is Hyde. And Hyde is pretty annoying. To be fair, when it comes to things like Ambush or some of the others, he is pretty annoying, especially with the minigame in the library. With Figure, I hate it, but at the same time, it's a good incentive for players to learn they can't hide for too long. Hiding for too long causes issues, and if they didn't implement a mechanic where it would force you out, I think players would just camp hiding, which would devalue some entities like Ambush. So for that, I do have to give him a B tier. He doesn't have a design really though, which is better than some characters. Anyways, moving on. Jack. He's so rare that he's cool. We don't know why he's named Jack. We know very little about him. Design-wise, cool. He's just a jump scare though. But his reputation does precede him, so I'm willing to give him an A tier. He looks really cool next to like half of the other cast. Now, this is where we start getting into joke characters from smaller updates. So, Jeep Seek. He's so freaking cool. He just says, I don't gotta chase you, whips out the Jeep, chases you in the Jeep anyways. He's so freaking awesome. That design-wise, the Jeep, it looks cheap, but it's meant to be a joke. I'm fine with it being up here. These two aren't a joke. They're meant to be taken seriously. They look horrible. He's fine to be up here. Jeff is the GOAT. Giving you stuff, allowing you to like split your money with other players. He also knows how capitalism works, so at least we know that survived in the back in the hotel. So design-wise, we don't see him. We know he has tentacles and eyes, but I think that's all you need. The eyes and tentacles movements alone give you a personality for him, which is why he's all the way in S tier. He deserves it. Jeff, some people hate this guy. I'm putting him in D because A, they could have done something more unique with Jeff the Killer himself. Making him a Roblox like base NPCs a little bit boring, but to be fair, he was only in, I think, the April Fool's update. I don't know what year though, but design could have been better, gameplay could have been better, so he's going in D tier. John Doe figure. Just a reskin of the figure. I'm gonna put him in B tier because John Doe kind of isn't a Roblox thing at all. That's kind of been just a thing. So he's fine being here. Like, he's cool. That figure got a reskin, but he's fine being here. I think this is Lookman. Now, just being Holt reskin, but earlier, I'm willing to give him a C tier. Design-wise, he just looks like Shadow, but the mechanic of not looking at him is pretty cool. So he's fine here. Louie. Man, I love this mouse. Just being a chill mouse that gives you something for cheese. Pretty awesome. So, also, and again, with the animals thing, how we don't know what half of these things actually are. Just like the Cause, Louie's an actual mouse. He's not a monster version of a mouse, he's just a mouse. So he's fine being here. Mandrakes. Going back to the giggle and grumble thing. They're pretty cool. Difficult to get, not really difficult, annoying to go against, but pretty cool. So I'm willing to give them a C tier. The World Lotus Vines are actually really cool. Monuments. These are scary. This is one of the scarier monsters in the game because they move so silently. It's really interesting how they don't look too interesting though, so I will degrade them to a C tier. Noob figure, about the same as John Doe figure, actually one up, only because Noob fit the Noob thing started with Roblox in that color palette, so he gets one leg over the other. Queen Grumble, really lore important, so I'll give it an A. Because in order for a Grumble to become a Queen Grumble, I think it's something to do with they have to survive for the longest. You can tell I haven't played the mines, but it being part of Seek's chase scene at the end of the mines, with Seek infecting it, really freaking cool. I should have probably put a spoiler warning on this, but that's kind of a given. So Queen Grumble gets an A. Now, I don't know if there's a version of Ambush that looks like this, so I'm willing to put it in F tier. I don't know if it does anything interesting. I haven't seen much about these last few joke entities, so they're going down here. Now, I can't even tell what this is. It looks like SpongeBob, but a skeleton, so it's going down here. I can tell this is meant to be El Goblino. that just alone, because you may be asking, well, if you gave Draco Bloxer and this guy and Jeff all lower tiers, why is he up here? Because he's El Goblino. That gives him charm points immediately. Now we have, I think, Retro Eyes. They just put the model of Eyes onto a ball and made it float. It's the same thing, just worse. So it's going here. Then we have the Jeff shop. I think there's Retro Jeff. He's cool, I guess. He doesn't seem to move much. Being a black screen doesn't lead for much to the imagination. So he's fine. He can be down D tier. I think this is Retro Rush. So I'm willing to give him a C tier. You'll see why in a second. Also, the retro design is actually a really good idea for games. Now, I think this is Retro Screech. They look horrible compared to the actual Screeches. They look like a piñata. They look like I'd whack them in a baseball bat and get a bunch of candy. So, D tier it is for them. Glitch Rush. Glitch Rush is cool. Glitch, anything is usually cool. I did put usually with that statement. So, B tier it is for him. Actual Rush, A tier. I get the mechanic can be annoying at times, especially after the infirmary in the hotel. When you can't really tell when he's gonna show up. Man, he's cool though. He's like Jack. If you think of Doors and you don't think of Figure or Seek, it's most likely Rush. So he deserves to be up in A tier. These are all Rush clones. I'll give him D tier because they at least did try and put some work into what Rush could look like, even if they're pretty cheap. The troll face I mentioned that A90 looks like is also just one of these. So he's pretty cool. D tier it is for them. Sally. I have mixed feelings on Sally. She's fine, I guess. Gameplay wise, annoying. I'm willing to give her a D because she doesn't look anything like her dad or grandpa. And she's annoying, so she's fine being down here. Glitch Screech. Now, there being like hundreds of them and a bunch of combinations you could get for them is already pretty cool. So, I'm willing to give them a B tier. They look just as cool as Glitch Rush. Now, as for actual Screeches, I'm willing to give them an A tier. They tie in with the Grumble and Giggle thing, where Seek basically finds and mutilates a Giggle to turn them into a Screech. Gameplay wise, annoying, but you get it fast. It's like Rush. Very difficult at first. Not very difficult. Difficult at first, but the more you play, the better you get at it. Obviously, that's how most games work. Seek, the big man himself, S tier. All of his chase scenes, awesome. Except when Guiding Light doesn't help me. Design, awesome. Most people, when they think of Doors, it's Seek. He easily deserves to be up here. Seeking Wall. It's just a red background with Seek that's a wall. I have mixed opinions, but I'm willing to give him C, because Seek is awesome. I think this is Shadow. Unoriginal name, considering, well, it's a shadow. But just being there is pretty cool. It's like Jack, but worse. So I'm willing to put him in C. Snare. This, technically being the first iteration of the World List we see, is awesome. And it's annoying when combined with entities, say Rush or Ambush, but I would say you get used to it. You get used to looking at your surroundings more. So for that, I'm willing to give it B. It teaches you something important. Soy Jack, very, very fitting and funny name, especially for Jack. I'm willing to give him a B tier. He's about just as cool as normal Jack. This is a super long name that I forget, and I don't care to look up. It looks cool. I'm gonna put it in D tier. It's just a box with a thing inside of it. It looks like something I'd see in science class. Surge, being the rush of the outdoors with an electricity motif. That gets my respect immediately. A tier. Because if you don't know, the channel's like electricity based, so like easily really cool. Now we're down to like the last 4. The groundskeeper, I'm gonna give him an S tier. He fights, he helps you, so long as you don't step on his grass. That seems fair. He's also a good representation of modern doors, so I'd say he deserves to be up here. Timothy. Arachnophobic people hate this game. I know why. This spider is so annoying. At least he's a cool spider, because he's just a spider. How would I know that he's just a spider, though? He just jumps out of a cabinet and, like, jumps onto your face. So, very irritating when it happens. The void, it doesn't have a design. It doesn't exist. I don't know how to put it. It just doesn't exist. It's gotta go in F tier, because it's not a thing, you know? Like, if they gave it a face, it would make sense. But it's just black, I don't even know what to call it. It's a void. It literally is what it says it is. So it has to go in F tier. World Lotus, I'm gonna give it an A tier. Only because it's, well, you don't see much of it. Lotus petals, the entire outdoors, awesome. And the fact that it tries to mimic other entities such as Bramble being Figure and Eyestalk being Seek is awesome. Story-wise, it's also important. Just like the Grumbles and Seek, it's important. So for that, I'm willing to give it style points. And that is it for this ranking. That is all 62 Doors entities as of current. There might have been a few I've missed by the time I get this video out. That's going to be it for today's video. So, I'll catch you guys on the flip side.